All right, I want to welcome everybody. My name is Rick. My wife's name is Paige. We're the Murphys. We live here in Austin, Texas. And over the next couple of minutes, I want to share with you a little bit about our company. And actually, by request and more like demand from a lot of you guys, we're going to start the day here before we really get going with the event by sharing with you the power of one of our newest technologies. There's such a rush for this. I've never seen anything like it since we've been affiliated with Nikken. And I'm going to go ahead and share this with you real quick. So you guys ready to have a little bit of fun and talk about this? All right, awesome. Well, let me tell you a little bit about who we are, because there's a lot of folks in here that don't quite know yet, and this is going to be your first experience with the company. Our company's name is Nikken, and for the past 40 years, we've spent hundreds of millions, in fact, probably billions of dollars, studying something that is very important to all of you, and that's your health. While Western pharmaceutical companies and the medical associated with studying your sickness and how to treat it, we were studying your health, so you don't need that stuff in the first place. And I always kind of jokingly tell people, you kind of have a choice. You can either be our customer or theirs, because you're going to be one of the two. And I'd much rather have you be ours and live a healthy life and live a life of abundance and be able to go out there and spend the time doing the things that you like and have the health to do it. Because after all, your health is your greatest commodity, isn't it? It's a wonderful thing. Now, our company's mission is to create awareness, first of all, that there's challenges out there. And I think most of you today are pretty aware that there's a lot of challenges, more so than ever. Things we took for granted, like when I was a kid, when I came in and I would be outside playing, I'd run in the house and get a drink of water out of the faucet. How many of you guys had boys that would do that? My mom would get mad because I made the faucet dirty. Now, if our son does it, I'm mad at him because the water coming out of it is dirty. And that's a big challenge. People are worried about the genetically modified food in the grocery store. They're worried about their air quality. They're worried about the stuff in their carpet, their fibers, and all these things. And it's kind of out of control today, and people are looking for solutions. So we're raising awareness first that there's a challenge, but more importantly, we're going to show people simple, affordable things they can do to start to take control of that. And my wife and I have partnered with this company. And to connect with Nikken, we've actually hired one big company to protect us from all the other ones, and it's pretty neat stuff. Now, one of the things I'm going to focus on primarily today is our water systems. Now, these are very cutting edge, very high tech, and even though Nikken's been around for going on 40 years, I like to tell people it's kind of like Apple Computer, where they had done billions all over the world. And they had a group of people that really, really loved them with the Macintosh and things like that. And then a few years ago, they came out with the iTunes and the iPad and the iPhone. And the company went from something that was really big and people loved in a small group to something that was everywhere. How many of you guys today have Apple stuff or something like it in your home, from the touch screens and all those different things? What we're going to do is take wellness from a select group of people that really understand it, because it takes a lot of knowledge, to everywhere, to where people are using it and it's in our homes. And that's really what the powerful thing about it is. And this technology does that. And this is something we've come out with fairly recently. It's very exciting stuff. So you guys mind if I take a couple minutes? I'll show you kind of a really neat, really simple, easy thing that will show you indisputably the power of this stuff. And then we'll share with you what to do from there. Does that sound good to you guys? How many of you guys in this room, let's say I'm 40 years old now, 20, 30 years ago, took for granted that your water was clean. You didn't even think about it. You just got a drink out of the faucet or whatever. And then over the past 10 to 15 years, how many of you guys have already, something that was free most of your life, started buying bottled water? Spending more on water than you spend on gasoline. Now, what caused people to start to get it from the bottles in the first place was we started to hear about the contaminants in our tap, the 100-year-old plumbing with lead in it, the biologicals, the pharmaceuticals, the pesticides, all these things in your water. And if you haven't really heard a lot about this, go out and do your research and see what's in it. Don't take my word for it. Go and educate yourself. Now, it's pretty fascinating to me that people are willing to go and spend more on water than on gas for something that's been free. Do you guys think that's a pretty significant development? How many of you guys are doing this already or were before you got involved with Nikken, spending a lot of money on this stuff? Well, the problem with bottled water, and once again, go and do your research, and I'm not here to slam any of these companies. I'm just here to tell you what the research says and to show you the results. But if you take a look at this, first of all, a lot of the water that's in these bottles is actually of lower quality than what's coming out of the tap, and you guys can go read this yourself. The other problem is they put it in a plastic bottle, and the number one is in the bottom of this. It's got what's called BPA's in it, which leach into your water, particularly as temperature goes up. And why do you guys think it's a big mystery today that 1 in 75 babies born has autism, that there's lupus, autoimmune diseases, chronic fatigue syndromes, and all these crazy problems out there? Do you guys think it's a coincidence today that a baby being born has 200 chemicals in their body the day that they're born? This is the challenge. In fact, we're partnered with a company called the Healthy Child, Healthy World Foundation. Their mission also as a nonprofit is to go out and let people know you don't have to have this stuff in your home, and to make some simple changes. So here's people trying to do something right and go and buy bottled water like this, and I'm not even addressing addressing the contaminants issue today. I'm going to show you something even easier than that that you may not be aware of. But that's a real challenge, is you're doing what you think is right, which a lot of people do. It ends up being as bad or worse than the thing that you were doing in the first place. So you're left with no real solutions, because the only water systems that really clean up the water have been thousands of dollars out there on the market, and that's priced out of most people's price points until now. Until now. So one thing I want to talk about, a very simple thing, is we've got two units here. One is called the Waterfall, and this is the actual PyMag sports bottle. Now, these not only clean your water to NSA 42 and 53, which are not only the taste, the color, the clarity, but also they take out the chemicals, the contaminants. It's about the best you can possibly get going on. But the good news is this bottle right here will cost you about 10 cents a refill, which is about $40 or $50 to get the bottle in the first place. And then the refill, and by the way, the bottle, if you do this in a landfill, would disappear in about a year. It's got an enzyme in it, so it doesn't hurt our planet. Is that pretty neat? The filters in this that last you about 2 months are